Hey, what's up? Appreciate you stopping in. I was on Jets Twitter, as I've been known to be, and I was cutting it up with a fellow Jets fan. We're talking Sauce Gardner, and he said, we know he's never going to be another Jamal Adams, a diva who's selfish, leaves the team. Ahmad Sauce Gardner would stick it out through adversity, and he'd be there for his brothers. Well, no lies detected on Ahmad Gardner, the character, the work ethic, the integrity, the commitment to the game, not question marks for the number 4 overall pick out of Cincinnati. But talking about Jamal Adams, I'm glad he's not a Jet anymore, mainly because he's way overpaid to be a box safety in a passing league and because we got an incredible return for him. But he was right about a couple of things. Number 1, he did not like Adam Gase and he believed he was incompetent. And number 2, he said that those Jets teams did not have enough dogs. No lies detected there either. And when it comes to our new guys, like Sauce, for example, if the Jets are going to be completely unprofessionally and putridly run and going nowhere and losing games in embarrassing fashion week after week like they did when Jamal Adams was here, is Ahmad going to be a better teammate than Jamal was? I do not plan on finding out. Irrelevant. With all the young guys and with all future draft picks, the question of if we burn this ship to the ground and are historically laughable, is this guy going to be a good teammate? Who cares? Because we're not doing that anymore. It does not matter. And the proof is in the pudding, because my goodness, we've talked about this roster overhaul kind of position by position. Man, look at tight end, look at edge rusher. But stick this out with me, guys, because when you lay it all out there, it is jaw-dropping what Joe Douglas has done to this roster in a few short years, starting up front in his position, the offensive line. Tackles. 2019, Kelvin Beachum, Brandon Shell. Brandon Shell, we don't even want as a backup anymore, maybe, still under 30. Kelvin Beachum, solid pro. But Dwayne Brown is better. 2 huge upgrades at tackle. Interior offensive line. My goodness. 2019, Alex Lewis, Brian Winters, Jonathan Harrison. All 30 years old or younger. All 3 out of football. Out of football. Now, Laken Tomlinson, Pro Bowler. AVT, blue chip prospect in year 2. And Connor McGovern, my goodness. As much as Jets fans hate Connor McGovern, we're going to act like the Jonathan Harrison experiment didn't exist. Dan Feeney might be better than Jonathan Harrison. Nate Herbig is probably better than Alex Lewis and Brian Winters. His backups. Unbelievable. And the other side, the pass rush. In 2019, our 2 most gifted pass rushers were Henry Anderson and Jordan Jenkins. Henry Anderson is still in the league with the Patriots. He's had 1.5 sacks over the past 3 seasons. And Jordan Jenkins, similar to Kelvin Beachum, a solid pro. I thought he brought his lunch pail to work, did the dirty work. I'm not trying to trash on a bunch of former Jets players here, but come on, Jordan Jenkins is one of your expected to be one of your top producing pass rushers. Jordan Jenkins had 2.5 sacks last year in Houston, and they cut him. The Houston Texans, who finished 28th in sacks last year, didn't have a role for Jordan Jenkins. A couple short years after, he was supposed to be maybe our best pass rusher. Now, Carl Lawson, JFM, JJ Jacob Martin, Bryce Huff, Michael Clemens. Bryce Huff, this version of Bryce Huff we're getting this year is probably the most gifted pass rusher in 2019. And if we're relatively healthy, I don't know how Bryce Huff is getting on the field this year. Back to the offensive side of the football. The weapons. Elijah McGuire was running back 2 in 2019. Cup of coffee in the NFL. Now, he wouldn't even be running back 5. Obviously 1, 2, and then Bam Knight's better than him. Ty Johnson's better than him. Michael P. Ryan and Tevin Coleman might be better than him, and they got cut. Ryan Griffin was tight end 1. He wouldn't even be a top 3 tight end. Demaryius Thomas, rest in peace. Great career, great guy. Brought in to be an emergency wide receiver 3 after his career was all but over. Now, wide receiver 3 might be Corey Davis, who's in his prime and can get 900 yards for you like that. Back to the rest of the defense. The safeties were elite. Jamal Adams and Marcus May for a little while there were one of the better safety tandems in the league. But look, cornerback and linebacker. 2019, starting corners. Nate Hairston, Darrell Roberts, and Brian Poole. Along with linebackers Neville Hewitt and James Burgess getting most of the reps after CJ Mosley went down. Man, those are 5 guys who, again, all practice squad roster bubble guys fizzling right out of the league. None of them going on to do anything notable after that stint with the Jets. And okay, part of that's injuries, but now if CJ Mosley goes down this year, I mean, Jamie Sherwood's probably starting. Like, second-year version of Jamie Sherwood is probably starting on that 2019 team. Unbelievable. You got Quan Alexander, former Pro Bowler. Quincy Williams, athletic stud. And we just talked about Jamie Sherwood. And hey, how about this? Here's the kicker, pun intended. Sam Ficken. Remember that? Remember Sam Ficken? Remember when the Jets tried like 3 or 4 different guys just so they could try to find somebody who could make an extra point? Now they have Greg Zerloin, who is one of the most accomplished kickers over the last decade of football. But we got to prove it. We got to win some games. But I don't know what more you could have asked for. Like, what were we spending our money on before? Where were those cap dollars going? Unbelievable turnaround. We're in excellent hands. There is one more move I think we need to make pretty soon. You can click down below for what that is. Subscribe if you're new. We'll talk ball soon.